Hey, I'm Travis.
And I'm Adele. And we want to welcome you to this episode. We're going to be talking all about what to do with family and friends and how to communicate with them once you've decided to reconcile your marriage. And we want to just say thank you for the comments that you're leaving on our channel. In fact, this episode is based on one of your comments. So thank you so much for sharing what you're going through, because it does help us bring more relatable content right to what you're going through.
And before we go to address that, we want to welcome you to our channel if you've never joined us before.
Yes. And also we want to talk about something exciting.
Let's celebrate.
Yay!
Woo! We're celebrating. We have now taken our seasons and put them on the podcast.
Yes, on audio platforms. So we are now live on Apple and Spotify. So if you are a podcast listener and you've already maybe watched some of our videos, I still encourage you, go back and listen to them. I am enjoying so much going back and listening, and I just love how God is speaking to me through our episodes. It's been really cool.
It's a huge celebration.
Okay, so the question is, I'd like to hear your thoughts on dealing with friends and family on both sides after infidelity and the decision to reconcile. I know that this is a question that we get from a lot of you. Like, what do I do with the family and friends that I've already shared about the betrayal, and now I want to reconcile my marriage, and there is conflict there? And I so resonate with that.
I know. First, let's start off with God's perspective.
Yeah.
We always want to start with God's perspective. What's the truth? What do we need to go to? And we will always point you to the Bible, and it will tell you God's perspective. And we'll start with God is always for the covenant of the marriage.
That's right.
The world is typically not for the covenant.
Right. Right. And, you know, because the world is not for the covenant, oftentimes there are a lot of different types of responses that you'll get when you say, I'm going to move forward with reconciling and restoring my marriage. People are like, what? Mm-hmm. You're just going to let him walk all over you? He needs to pay for what he did. You need to prove to him that he can't do this to you.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to just let him back? Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Most people's responses are not going to come from the biblical, godly perspective. They're typically going to come from their opinions that they have about things, typically from their past betrayal, like if they went through betrayal before. Mm-hmm. It comes from those. Right.
And so oftentimes it's an unhealthy fear that's actually coming up for them. And I just want to mention, like, when close family is involved, they're hurt too.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, we've had a lot of conversation about this. Like, you didn't just betray me, but you also betrayed my family.
That's right.
Because they love me and they
trust
friends. You
yeah.
to care well for me. And when you didn't, they felt betrayed.
Right.
And so it's not just the betrayal in your marriage. Because you have shared with your family, now there is betrayal in the family. And that takes some work to actually work through it.
Sometimes they have a harder time healing than the couple does as well.
Yes, and they just want to protect you. I mean, I think when you can really look at the perspective of, like, why would my family be having a hard time? It's because they love you, and they don't want to see you constantly get hurt. So, you know, I want to speak to the person of maybe you're fresh in betrayal and you haven't shared with your family yet. It's really wise to share as little as possible, because oftentimes family have a lot harder of a time and it takes them a lot longer to restore and repair than it does for their own marriage. And so that may not be you, though. It may be you have already shared and you're like, what do I do now? And what I want to share is in our story and how this relates to us, it really was up to you as the betraying spouse to prove your healing and prove your fight for the marriage and for me.
For the betrayer to show that they are willing to work? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It really takes the betrayer an active heart posture of I desire to rectify and reconcile this marriage, and I'm not blaming you anymore. I'm not trying to put blame on you for the actions that I've done. I'm taking full responsibility for myself. And when I do that, it is easier for the family and friends who are injured from the betrayal. It is easier for them to get healing alongside
Right.
of us.
Right. We deal with this a lot with our couples, and the first instinct, like when I'm coaching a wife and she's sharing like my husband and my family won't even acknowledge him or
Yeah.
speak to him, like what do I do? And the natural instinct is to defend.
Yeah, they're doing so much better. That's not the same person that did that
That's
before.
not who they are anymore. They're changed. They're different. And that might be true. But what your family hears you doing is defending them.
Yeah.
Which only solidifies that you're just allowing your spouse to walk all over you. In their mind, that's what a lot of times they're thinking is you're just letting him get away with this. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. And that's their perspective.
This
And
can be a
so-
very confusing time for you, for
Mm-hmm.
your family. I imagine you're already dealing with the different levels of betrayal. You're already dealing with your own healing. And now, because family has been included in this, there's also an additional layer that you're having to deal with alongside that.
Right. A lot of it is attached to your own journey of forgiveness. Because as you forgive your spouse and your spouse forgives you for all the things in the marriage, then other people start to see that healed marriage. Versus when I am not at a place of healing and there's still unforgiveness, like that also shows. And so as I really stepped into forgiveness with you, other people started to see the change and open up to the possibility of also forgiving you.
Yeah.
It's also important to validate their emotions because really, if you've been following along our episodes, what's really happening under the surface and where the enemy is operating is thorns are getting pricked in your family and friends, and it's betrayed or deceived or something along those lines, and you're just getting a reaction from them. Like their reaction might be to withdraw or to stonewall you and just not acknowledge your existence, or they might criticize you or blame you. There's all kinds of reactions. I know we've talked about that a lot. But if you just really meet your family or friend where they are, like it sounds like you're really grappling with a lot of pain. It sounds like you're in a world of hurt around this betrayal in my marriage. And if you just really validate their emotions, they're going to get complete around that. And so a lot of what that would sound like is, wow, it just sounds like you're really struggling with this.
Yeah.
You don't want to be around him right now. And that would make sense to me because he's a reminder of a lot of pain. And I've walked through that. So it makes sense.
Most people have experienced betrayal on different levels. And a lot of times, your marriage betrayal and you sharing it with friends and family, a lot of times it brings up their betrayal
Their
from
old
things
wounds.
that they've experienced. And that might be what they're feeling. And so what you're saying, Adele, is acknowledging they probably are experiencing pain. And acknowledging that they probably are feeling a certain way about your spouse. That goes a long way for them to be able to say, yeah, I am. I'm really upset with him or her right now.
Yeah.
Because they hurt you. And you're important to me. But it may be something deeper in their heart that's going on.
Right. And for me, I started sharing about, what I saw for myself is that by not forgiving Travis, it was just keeping me from healing. And forgiveness is really for me. And I know I shared that with several family members, and some of them got it, some of them didn't. But the ones who did were also able to step into that. Well, if she's choosing forgiveness and it's because she needs healing, then I'm going to support her in that. And I think a lot of it just goes back to authentically sharing how God is showing up in your life and in your marriage and how he is healing you specifically. I know when our couples get finished with an intensive, they want to just share all the things. And what we encourage our couples to share is share about your own healing with the people around you. Not what your spouse is doing and how they're changing and the difference you see in them, but what God's doing in your life. And as you do that, then other people are going to open up and start to look at that like, wow, God is really doing a lot in her or him through this experience.
Yes.
It's really
it speaks volumes because you're taking personal responsibility for you and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. Whenever I do that, whenever I take personal responsibility and share what I'm getting and how things are impacting me versus the marriage or something else.
Right.
That lands differently with people.
Right. It does.
It really does.
Right. So I just wanted to share some of the reactions I got when I shared that I wanted to restore our marriage. Some of them became angry. I had some that rejected me altogether. And then I had some that were encouraging and supporting. And it is difficult when you really need people in your corner to share with, to help you through this journey, because you need community during this time. But I think what's really important and what I learned through my own journey is not every person is the right person to share with. Being very specific about who you choose to include in this journey with you is vitally important, so that you include the right people that are going to be encouraging and that are for your marriage. Because like we started this out, God is for the marriage. That is his heart, is for the covenant. Mm-hmm. And if God is calling you to restore your marriage, and you're listening to what your family and friends are saying because they are infiltrated from the world and their perspective, then you're going against what God is calling you to. So get really clear with God. God, where do you want me? Do you want me to restore this marriage? And if so, if he gives you that clear answer, that's holy ground to stand on. That's a holy foundation that you can have holy confidence in. And that's really where I was. I had a confidence and I knew what God was calling me to. And I had to be unapologetic about that decision and not care about what other people and how they judged me for it.
I like that you said holy 3 times in a row.
I know. That's why I got a little chuckled when I said it, because I'm like, well, that's the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah, it is. And then as a betrayer, I needed to work at how I showed up. I had to work at how I showed up to present myself to other people, but also in my own healing. Earlier, before we started this podcast, we were talking to my good friend and producer, Joel, about Psalm 51:17. And this is King David showing what God wants as a heart posture. Is he wants a broken spirit, a humble, open, repentant heart posture. And in that posture is where I can actually receive healing. And what I need to do is show up. One is being a man of my word. Like, my words and actions have to consistently line up with who it is I'm committed to being, so that I earn trust in this relationship, so that I am a person of integrity. And then apologizing to people when necessary. Like, when I have done things that are inappropriate, and I have, it is apologizing to those people and making things right in my life.
Will you share a little bit about what that apology should sound like? Because I know in some attempts for some of our couples, husbands and wives, who apologize, it doesn't quite come out the way the heart really wants it to sound. So I would love for you to share, what would that apology even sound like? And maybe it's in writing a letter. Yeah,
writing a letter is a great idea. Dr. Gary Chapman co-authored a book called The 5 Levels of Apology, I believe it's called. And that just blew my mind that there's multiple ways to apologize and multiple ways that people receive apology. And so I can't tell you exactly what would work for you, but I can tell you that when you have a humble, repentant heart, that you will seek ways that will apply in your marriage and in your family. And for me, what it looked like is taking full ownership for my actions, my words, my thoughts, who I am, and I want to come to you, Adele, and tell you I'm wrong. I was wrong for the things I've done, and be specific about those things I'm wrong about, and tell you that I was wrong for those things. It is not who I want to be. I'm committed to being someone different, and then apologizing for those things and asking for forgiveness. It might be writing a letter to someone and apologizing in that way. And if it's not someone that the relationship can have a restoration, there's some toxicity, or it'd be better if you didn't communicate. Writing a letter but not sending it is helpful too. But just apologizing and making things right, it really does clear your conscience and what you're doing as well.
Well, I think it's just so much better to address it and label it, and the betrayer take the ownership, especially with family that are involved. Otherwise, it's like the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about, but everybody's thinking about it.
Yes, and it's ownership without blame.
Yes, and that's what I really wanted to convey here, is that you cannot be pointing the finger at anywhere but yourself in that apology, and taking ownership and responsibility for how you didn't show up in the marriage the way God called you to. And that people will hear you different in that. When there's no blame and there's no excuses, it just is what it is. Like, they don't need to know the backstory. That's between you and God and your spouse. And I pray you do find that backstory. But it can sound like an excuse or blame to other people.
And all that is me trying to preserve the way people think about me. Whenever I try to shift the blame, well, I did it. I was wrong for it. But I wouldn't have done it if you didn't do this. Mm-hmm. That's just going to have some blame in it that will not be effective.
Right. Right. And so I hope that just through this conversation today, you're able to see that, okay, this is what's happened. Here's a few ways that I can move forward with this. And just to kind of recap a little bit of what we talked about in today's episode is how to be present with your family and the emotions that they're experiencing, because really they're experiencing betrayal just the same as you. And they're walking through this journey with you. And
probably not the same.
Well, different levels for sure.
That's right.
Of pain. But they are on their own journey, I should say. And also, just that you are going to get all kinds of different responses, and that's okay. You've got to find your confidence with the Lord and what He's calling you to do. And once you have that, you have a path forward that is straight for you, to not allow the people around you to influence you and discourage you in your decision.
Yes, and lastly, knowing that God is for marriages. He is always for the covenant of marriage, and if possible, restoration of the relationship is ideal, and God is always for restoration. Always for it. He's always for the covenant, if possible. What else you got?
Well, I feel like that wraps up the episode, but you know what I've missed?
Have you missed gratitude?
Yes. I have missed gratitude with you.
Should we do it?
Yes.
All right.
Can we do some gratitude?
Let's do it. Can I start?
Yes. After you get a gulp, gulp.
Well, it also buys me time to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I have gratitude. It revolves around our conversation earlier for the last couple hours here, and it is your heart posture. I'm grateful for your heart posture, that you will that relationships are important to you, and that you will continually keep looking at how you can have good, effective relationships, friendships that are really important. Because I feel that even in our relationship, that's really important to you too. And
Thank you.
you fight for our relationship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate. I've received that.
You're welcome.
My gratitude for you is the support that you have been for me over the last 3 weeks or so, of just helping me work through spiritual warfare, different thoughts that I was having that didn't resonate with how my heart feels. I feel like you were just such a good sounding board for me to bounce things off of and help bring me back to truth. And for me, that is so valuable in this marriage. I do not always see truth. And I need someone that is close to me to be able to speak that into me and point me to where I know I need to be, but I haven't gotten there yet. So thank you for just loving me through that and pointing me to truth,
I received that.
even when I don't want to hear it.
Right. Right. But that's a humble heart to be able to hear it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the gratitude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're done.
We want to thank you.
I was going to say, how do you want to wrap the episode up?
We want to just thank you for joining us today, and thank you again for commenting, liking, subscribing. We are almost at 6,000 subscribers, so that just means more marriages are getting reached, and God is using this channel, just from what we hear in comments, to restore marriages, heal hearts, heal relationships, and it really is just an honor to do this journey with you. So,
Yeah. And let me do that now. I pray a blessing over you. I pray a blessing over your marriage and the restoration of your marriage in Jesus' name. Amen.
yes. All right.
Let's do
So
it.
if you want to learn more about your healing, you're going to want to watch this video
Right here.
next.
Great job.
Where was the big signs
Oh, yeah.
today? That's a wrap.
Wrapped it up.
Way to go.
Thanks.
Yeah, short and sweet.
I like the gratitude
I
this
miss
time,
that.
adding that to it.